Okay, let's talk about City of Ember, chapter 16 through 17. So, when they found out about Mayor's wrongdoings, Lina and Dune reported the actions to the guards, believing that the guards are going to take an action and then remove the mayor. And then one of the guard, the chief guard, told the kids that, oh, definitely, you can trust me. I'm going to take an action. But then later, they found out that the guards are on the side of the mayor, which means that the guards are basically the policemen in the city, but then they're helping the mayor stealing from the storeroom and then not distributing the necessary items to the city and then the citizens. So it's very disappointing. And then uh, Lina and Dune are very much disappointed and disillusioned with the reality because the people who are supposed to protect the citizens are instead betraying them for their personal gain and personal greed. So the guards symbolize the corruption and decay within the Ember society. So when people in power they use their authority for their personal gain, it just undermines the trust about the government and the authority in general. Then the citizens cannot trust anybody, so they turn to their own means to protect themselves. Then basically everybody is going to become everybody's enemy because no one can trust. So this kind of unchecked authority and unchecked power is going to undermine social trust and social safety. So Dune and Lina are debating whether to take Poppy or not on the boat to the river to escape City of Ember. And Lina thinks it's better to take Poppy with her, but Dune thinks it's better to leave Poppy with Mrs. Murdo because it's going to be very difficult to escape like quickly with the baby while carrying the baby, and then it'd be safer for the baby to stay with an responsible adult like Mrs. Murdo, and then the two kids can give Mrs. Murdo directions later so that she can take Poppy with her in the second march or in the later march. I think that it would be if I were Lina, I would take Poppy with her. So Mrs. Murdo is definitely a responsible person, and then she's going to do everything to make sure that Poppy is safe. But then in this very unstable situation that the city is going through, you don't really know what's going to happen. So it might be the case that the two sisters might be separated forever. Like during the Korean War, some people escaped to the south, uh, believing that they're going to be reunited with the families that they left in the north. But look at the situation right now. They have been separated for almost 100 years now. So you never know what's going to happen in such extreme situations. So I would definitely make sure that I would stay with my sister no matter what. Yeah, and then the emotional bond between the two sisters is really strong. So if they ever get separated, it's going to be so traumatic for both of them. So I would take Poppy with me if I were her. And then about discussion questions of last class, Mrs. Murdo, she's just a next door neighbor, but she's very kind and caring, and also she's very practical. So she gives practical solutions to the plight that Poppy and Lina are going through, basically provides the necessities for survival, such as shelter, food, and clothing. So she's very helpful in practical ways. So she was just an acquaintance in the beginning, but then they truly start building strong bonds that would usually be possible within families. So I think it's important to have compassion beyond our blood relations because that's a way to build a strong community, a community that's empathetic toward each other and compassionate toward each other. Why do we need such a community? Because we can never predict our future. So right now we might be wealthy. Right now we might be healthy. We might have everything, but we don't really know whether we're going to be struck with misfortune or not. And then when that kind of things happens, it just randomly hits people, right? So we have to make sure there is like a social net that can safely guard people. So an empathetic society and compassionate society is necessary for everybody, whether regardless of your social status or economic status. And then the symbolism of color pencil, it symbolizes hope and imagination, and then the human spirit to find hope in even extreme situations. So Laina is a very optimistic person. She's a very positive person. So in such bleak and such dark situations, she never stops dreaming and she never stops imagining. And that is symbolized by the colored pencils. And she is dreaming something impossible and then or something that has never been observed or seen. But I think history has been created by those people who dream the impossible. So I think history can be made by people who are optimistic, um, and then who are really positive. So the color pencil definitely symbolizes hope. Okay, thank you for watching.